Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to being well-informed. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that, well, it can really shape our lives. Redefining wealth. We're unpacking a concise yet really impactful article from IMAR Learning Solutions. It's called Redefining Wealth, How Needing Less and Smart Investing Can Transform Your Financial Future. So, our mission today is to challenge that common idea that wealth is just about chasing a bigger paycheck. Instead, we're going to explore how consciously managing your resources, adopting a mindset of needing less, and yet strategically smart investing can build a financial future that's not just large, but truly sustainable and, well, deeply satisfying. Okay, let's unpack this.
And I think what's really crucial to understand right from the start is that this isn't just about, crunching numbers. This deep dive is really about a fundamental shift in mindset, figuring out what truly provides value in your life beyond just stuff. We'll be sharing insights that give you practical, actionable ways to apply these ideas to really transform your financial journey, starting right now.
That sounds like a powerful way to begin. So let's jump straight into that first core idea the article presents. Understanding the concept of needing less. I mean, it often feels like our society is constantly telling us happiness is tied to how much we own, right? But this journey to redefine wealth, according to the source, it really begins with embracing this simple, but actually quite powerful idea of needing less.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is how the data backs this up. The IMAR article mentions a Pew Research Center survey, and it found that a pretty significant majority, 62% of people, actually prioritize experiences over material goods when it comes to happiness. It just highlights how, real satisfaction often comes from experiences, relationships, personal growth, not just the next gadget.
62%.
Yeah.
Wow, that's huge. And I think that really resonates and makes you wonder, though, if so many people feel that way,
Yeah.
why is needing less sometimes so hard to actually do?
That's a great point. And the article addresses it well. It says, adopting minimalism isn't about deprivation. That's a big misconception. It's really about consciously figuring out the difference between what you truly need for a fulfilling life and what you just kind of want, maybe because of ads or social pressure.
Right. Needs versus wants.
Exactly. The source even talks about the psychology behind things like subscription creep. Found that really interesting.
Oh, yeah. Tell me more about that.
Well, it points out things like decision fatigue and the sunk cost fallacy. They often keep us paying for stuff we barely use, like you sign up for a free trial, forget it, or feel like, oh, I've already paid for 3 months, I can't cancel now, even if you don't use it.
Guilty as charged. I definitely do that.
Right. So it suggests being proactive. Maybe schedule a quarterly subscription cleanup or use an app to track those recurring charges. It shows how our brains kind of resist canceling those small, regular payments, even when they really add up.
Okay, so beyond just subscriptions, how does the article suggest we start evaluating expenses more practically?
It gives some really tangible examples, like canceling just 2 or 3 rarely used monthly subscriptions. That could easily free up, say, $30 to $50 a month.
Okay.
Or think about dining out. If you spend maybe $200 a month eating out, just cooking at home a bit more could potentially save you half of that. It's not about huge, drastic cuts necessarily, more about mindful choices.
And when you redirect even those, seemingly small amounts, I imagine that really starts to build up, frees up money for other things.
Precisely. It's not just saving, it's reallocating those resources so they can work harder for you. And that leads perfectly into the next crucial step, really.
Right.
Once you embrace needing less and see how it frees up some cash, the natural question is, what do you do with it? And this brings us to actively growing that money through smart investing. Here's where the strategy really starts to build long-term impact.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting.
Indeed. And the article does a great job of demystifying investing. Makes it clear it's not some exclusive thing just for the wealthy. It's actually a powerful tool available to pretty much everyone. It lets you grow your resources steadily over time instead of just, letting inflation eat away at them.
Yeah.
The key thing, as the source stresses, is first identifying your financial goals. What are you saving for? A house, retirement, kids' education. And just as important, understanding your own tolerance for risk.
Okay.
So, for example, if you're saving for a house in, say, 5 to 10 years, maybe a balanced portfolio, Perhaps a mix of stocks and bonds might fit your comfort level.
And what makes that mix balanced for someone starting out? How does that work?
Good question. So a balanced portfolio aims to spread out the risk. Bonds generally offer more stability, less volatility. They act like a cushion. Stocks, on the other hand, usually have higher growth potential, but they also fluctuate more.
All right, more ups and downs.
Exactly. So for a medium-term goal like a home deposit, blending them helps you balance that potential for growth with a risk level you can sleep with. You get some growth, hopefully, without the extreme swings.
Makes sense.
And the article also mentions how things like micro-investing apps are really lowering the barrier to entry now. You can start with literally just a few dollars and build up gradually.
Yeah.
Many even help you diversify automatically. Makes consistency almost, well, effortless.
That really does make it feel more accessible, takes away some of that intimidation factor.
Mhm.
And the article really hammers home the power of consistency, doesn't it? Recommending setting up that automatic monthly transfer to your investment account takes the decision out of it each month. You just build momentum.
Absolutely, that continuous automated action. That's the key to what we often call the magic of compound interest. Let's put a number on it, like the article does. Even setting aside just $100 a month, assuming, say, a 10% annual return, that could grow to nearly $6,000 in just 5 years.
Wow.
Now, obviously, that 10% is illustrative. Market returns vary. Nobody can guarantee that.
Sure, yeah.
But it powerfully shows how your money starts earning its own money. And that effect really snowballs over longer periods. It's like planting a tiny seed, watering it consistently, and watching it grow into something much bigger than you imagined from that small start.
That's a great visual.
But, it's easy to get excited about growth and investing, but the IMAR article wisely pulls us back a step. It asks, what's the absolute foundation? The first layer of any solid financial plan.
Okay.
And that's your financial safety net, your emergency fund. The article really stresses this comes before you dive deep into investing.
Ah, yes. Such a crucial point. So easy to overlook when you're thinking about market gains. The article recommends aiming for, 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses?
That's the guideline, yeah.
So if your monthly expenses are, let's say, $2,000, your target for that safety net should be somewhere between $6,000 and $12,000. It's a concrete goal. And having it must provide huge peace of mind.
Huge. And it's not just about covering unexpected bills, though it does that. It's actually a strategic asset. It protects everything else. It allows you to take those calculated risks with your investments because you won't be forced to sell things at a bad time or run up high interest debt if something unexpected happens. A car repair, medical bill, maybe even losing a job for a bit.
Right. It stops a setback from becoming a disaster.
Exactly. Once that fund is solidly in place, then you can explore those investment opportunities with more confidence without that background fear.
Okay, so we have strategies for saving, investing, building that safe.
Precisely. And the article highlights a whole range of resources for this. You can learn about personal finance basics, different investment strategies, how to read market trends, think books, podcasts from trusted experts. They often share really practical wealth-building strategies. Or, if you like structure, there are online courses. Places like Coursera or Khan Academy offer free, accessible lessons on everything from budgeting to understanding stocks. This knowledge really empowers you, lets you make choices aligned with your own goals and values.
And it's not just about individual learning, is it? The article also mentions the benefit of talking about money openly within the family.
Yes, that's a great point it brings up.
Fostering that financial literacy across generations, preparing kids to handle money responsibly. It kind of demystifies it all before it gets overwhelming. Building that shared understanding.
Absolutely. It's about creating a positive family culture around money.
And speaking of families and financial literacy, the source specifically introduces something called the Generational Wealth Guide for Parents. That sounds like exactly the kind of practical resource families might need.
It really seems designed for that. Its main purpose is providing practical, actionable strategies, ways for families to actively teach kids about managing money, why saving is important, even the basics of investing. It focuses on creating a real legacy of financial literacy, making sure kids grow up equipped, not just to maybe inherit money, but to understand how to maintain it, grow it responsibly.
Breaking those cycles of financial unawareness, perhaps.
Exactly.
So it's about engaging kids in these conversations, making finance normal, not scary. Setting them up for success instead of letting them figure it out the hard way. That feels really proactive.
Definitely a proactive approach to family wealth. And as the article broadens the discussion out again, it emphasizes that cultivating a true wealth mindset. Well, That goes way beyond just the numbers in your bank account. It's fundamentally about your beliefs, your attitudes about money. These really influence your whole financial journey.
Right, your relationship with money itself.
Yeah, having a positive, empowered, conscious relationship with it is foundational, which, raises an important question. How do we actually cultivate that mindset?
And one practical way the article suggests starting is simply by practicing gratitude for what you currently have. Acknowledging your current resources, rather than only focusing on what's missing, can genuinely shift your focus and maybe even reduce some financial stress.
That's a powerful, simple practice. It also strongly recommends surrounding yourself with like-minded people, people who share your financial values and goals. Their journeys, their insights can be incredibly inspiring.
Learning from others.
Exactly. Getting different perspectives, practical tips, maybe participating in community talks or online forums about wealth. It can give you fresh ideas, foster a collaborative spirit, shows you possibilities you might not have thought of alone. These connections can really motivate you.
That makes sense. But it's also important to remember, the article points this out, that building wealth isn't, instant. It's not a sprint.
Definitely not.
It's a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
It demands patience, discipline, and it's totally normal to feel discouraged sometimes if you don't see big results right away. Investing is just inherently a long-term game. It rewards sticking with it.
That's why consistency is just so vital. Staying dedicated to your financial plan, even when the market gets choppy and tries to shake your confidence, that's crucial. It's about trusting the process, understanding that ups and downs are part of it, and not letting short-term noise derail you from your long-term goals.
And to keep that motivation up, the article encourages setting practical, achievable goals and celebrating the small wins along the way. Acknowledging those milestones, even if they seem minor, helps reinforce your commitment, keeps you moving forward, one step at a time.
Absolutely. Reinforces those positive habits.
So to kind of bring this all back together, the core message today really seems to be about a fundamental shift in focus, moving beyond just earning more, and instead embracing the power of needing less and making wise, informed investments. It's about thoughtful minimalism, smart financial choices, and prioritizing that ongoing financial education for yourself and potentially your family.
And ultimately, the IMAR Learning Solutions article reminds us that true wealth, it covers much more than just money accumulation. It's really about consciously crafting a fulfilling life, one that's deeply aligned with your core values, whatever they are for you, and building the financial freedom to actually pursue those values.
Well said. And for any families listening who feel ready to embark on this kind of transformative journey, remember that resource we mentioned, the Generational Wealth Guide for Parents. Sounds like it's designed to help instill that financial literacy and create a lasting legacy of financial well-being.
A great tool to consider. So as you reflect on our conversation today, maybe consider this. A little provocative thought. Given that true wealth is about crafting that fulfilling life aligned with your core values, how can you identify just one small area in your life this week where you could maybe need less? And then consciously redirect those freed up resources towards something that genuinely fulfills you. Just something to think about.